All right, let's talk about something investors are absolutely obsessed with these days: recurring revenue. I mean, it's pitched as the ultimate holy grail for a business, right? But what if it's actually a trap? We're going to dig in and find out. This quote right here, it just nails the whole puzzle. How can something that's supposed to be as safe and predictable as a bond suddenly turn into a high-stakes, risky gamble? Well, that's exactly the question we're going to answer today. So why is everybody so in love with recurring revenue anyway? I mean, there's a reason they call it the Holy Grail, especially when you get into the worlds of private equity and high finance. At the end of the day, it all comes down to one word: predictability. If you know with a pretty high degree of certainty how much cash is coming in the door every single month, well, that changes everything. You can plan for the future, you can take on leverage, and you can tell a really, really convincing story to your investors. And just so we're all on the same page here, when we say recurring revenue, we're just talking about income a company can pretty much count on month after month. Think about your Netflix subscription, your software contracts, even your gym membership. It's the total opposite of a one-and-done sale. Okay, but here's where the plot thickens. That rock-solid, dependable predictability? Yeah, it might not be quite as solid as it looks. In fact, sometimes it's just an illusion. See, a contract might say a customer is locked in, but that doesn't mean they're a happy customer. And customers always have a choice. This is where the clean, simple math of a spreadsheet crashes head-on into the messy reality of human behavior. And that choice, that messy human reality, it has a name: churn. This is the killer metric for any subscription business. It's simply the percentage of your customers who decide to hit that cancel button and just walk away. And they take their precious recurring revenue right along with them. And what's really wild is how absolutely devastating churn can be. It's not a small problem, it's an exponential one. I mean, just look at this chart. The company with 25% churn isn't just a little bit worse off than the one with 5% churn. No way. It is on a completely different and frankly terrifying path. Churn is like water, silently eroding the foundation of the entire company. Okay, so we've poked a pretty big hole in the myth of perfect predictability. So now let's go after the next big myth: the idea that growth in one of these businesses is somehow cheap or automatic. Here's the thing. Getting a new customer costs money, usually a lot of money. We call it customer acquisition cost, or CAC, and that includes everything: your marketing, your ads, your sales team's salaries, the whole shebang. You have to constantly keep feeding this machine with cash just to grow, especially if you're bleeding customers out the back door because of churn. Now, this metric right here, net revenue retention, is one of my favorites. It's so powerful. It basically answers one simple question: what's happening with the customers you already have? Are they happy? Are they upgrading and spending more money? Or are they downgrading or leaving altogether? When your NRR is great, it means your existing customers are actually becoming your best engine for growth. And this just lays it all out, doesn't it? You've got two very different stories here. On one side, you have a healthy company. It grows efficiently because its existing customers love it. On the other side, you have a company that's basically stuck on a treadmill. It's spending a fortune on acquiring new customers just to replace the ones it's losing. It's literally buying revenue, and that is a game you can't win forever. So you take that illusion of predictability, you combine it with those hidden costs of growth, and what do you get? You walk straight into a valuation trap, a place where companies get valued for a perfect future that is, well, far from guaranteed. And here's how that trap gets set. First, investors get so mesmerized by that top-line revenue growth, they totally forget to ask if the company is actually making any money. Then they forget that if your product is easy to copy, you're eventually going to face huge price pressure. And worst of all, they can get totally fooled by some, let's call it, creative math. And this is so important to understand. A metric like annual recurring revenue, or ARR, is not a standardized accounting term like profit. There are no strict rules. That means companies can kind of define it however they want, sometimes lumping in one-time fees or other income that isn't guaranteed at all. It can paint a beautiful picture that hides a ton of risk. So after hearing all that bad news, you're probably wondering, what does matter? How do you spot the real, sustainable businesses and separate them from all the hype? The most important thing to remember is this: just having a reoccurring revenue model isn't the finish line, it's the starting line. It's not a guarantee of a great business, it's just a possibility. And it's your job to test that possibility by really digging in and looking under the hood. And here it is. This is the real health check. Forget the flashy headline number for a minute. You have to ask the tough questions. 1. What is the real churn rate? 2. How much are you paying to get each new customer, and is that sustainable? And 3. Are your current customers sticking around and spending more? These 3 things, these are the true drivers of long-term value. So the next time you read about some hot new company with amazing recurring revenue and a sky-high valuation, you'll know what to look for. Is it built on a rock-solid foundation of real value, or is it all just an illusion? Something to think about.